This is the Long War. I'm Rob Bear, and joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher, Wyatt Turk, and Mike Haspel. What's up, guys?
Yo, dog, great to be here.
Yo, what's up?
Greetings and felicitations.
Haspel's back, everybody.
Yep. Started a new job that's kicking my butt. Pays a lot, but I found out after about 48 hours, oh, this is why you're paying a lot.
I gotta work hard.
It sucks.
Damn.
The job's not bad.
No,
It's
you
just-
actually seem way happier than normal. So
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not. It's genuinely not bad. It's just I got thrown into the deep end, and it's like figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
sink or
like-
swim, bro.
Yeah. So it's been a little rough.
my man can swim. So I figured it out.
These are the times.
Oh, and somebody in the chat, it's left, that was asking me about OPR. And
Those
what I thought
meticulous
about it.
chaos was asking you about that.
Yeah, I think it's
Sick.
a really good rule set for folks that don't play a lot. That's
Yep.
the way I would say it. Is like if you're getting in, and unfortunately, I'm entering that group where I'm only playing.
Or it's a
like-
way to demo it real fast.
Yeah, because it's like I wouldn't say it's a
Mm.
simple rule set. It
Mhm.
is a simplified rule set. So if you haven't played in a while and you're like, man, I just want to throw some models around, throw dice, it's perfect for that. Because you can refresh yourself like immediately. It's one page. Like, okay, I get it. Let's play.
Oh yeah, we got some show notes tonight. Basically, a lot has happened since we last spoke, and we have a lot. We have at
We got
least
points.
7 bullet points on the topic. So
Oh man, you guys have been adding things.
yeah, boy.
Gotta make sure you spell potato right.
We were trying to get it to 9, but
Mine's a lot.
it's a lot of anything.
What do you?
So,
yeah.
so let's now that we had the gang back together, Mike Haspel is back on the podcast. Let's roll out to our Peabody award-winning segment and touch nothing but the lamp.
Would you rather go to prison for 3 years or go to prison until one of your parents is able to beat Elden Ring or a Dark Souls?
Oh
game?
my God. Why even ask this? This is a Arthur, would you rather?
I don't know.
guess I'm
3
going
years
for
is a
3
long
years.
That's
time.
not even fair.
3 years is a
I'm
long
going
None
time.
of
for
my,
3 years.
not one of our parents in this fucking
Mm.
podcast can beat that
No,
goddamn
not
fucking.
one.
Man, I don't know. I guess I have more faith in my mom's.
You think your mom can pull it off in less than 3 years?
I think
if she
most
knew
of
it
our
was the
parents-
only way to get you out of prison, that's actually a
Yeah.
different way of phrasing it, huh?
Bro, I mean,
Isn't
like,
that isn't that the
mom-
premise of Grandma's Boy?
Not
Yeah,
really.
kind of.
The movie.
I mean, kind of, sort of, but I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like if you, like, our parents are good at like figuring shit out. It's just that they choose not to most of the time.
Wow.
No, you're right. Because actually, now that I think about it, so to ask the genie, my mom or dad or whoever is fully aware that the sooner they beat the game, the sooner I'm out of prison.
Yeah,
And of course, I was convicted wrongly,
yeah. I mean, yeah.
and my appeal is based on this
There's
completion.
no appeals. Your appeal is based on
No, like the appeal is when you beat the game, he's out.
yeah.
And I'm innocent. She knows this.
And I would like to tell you that Kenny's mom beat the game and Kenny got away. But prison is not a fairy tale.
I saw some shit in there.
I don't know, man. I guess I have more faith in my parents. My mom's like, it's kind of like Eileen, where you have to learn like some newfangled preposterous software for teaching like every single year.
Oh,
Like
that's
she has to do that. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
you know
like,
what? That's true. My
publishing.
wife is a UI queen. Like she's
You
like,
know-
if it's a new UI, she's got it.
you know, like, and I mean, with Elden Ring, you gotta like research a little bit, gotta figure out how to make a build. I mean, there is no small amount of like figuring out how to play the game with the reactions and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, like, I see people like on Instagram, like some guy who's like a granddad, and he's like got a gaming stream. Like he can figure
Could
it out.
could I help her from prison with my phone
No,
calls?
no.
Could I call one of you to help her from prison with my phone call?
I think that would be allowed. Yeah.
Like, could I be like, yo, Wyatt's gonna come over, and he can't tell. Obviously, you can't play for her, but he's gonna help you and like be your game guide. Can I, if I can get someone committed to that, would the genie allow it?
I think you could do that. Yeah.
Because I feel like if I can get like someone in the room with her, because I did try to get her to play Skyrim this one time, Mike. She was all about it. I came home this one year. They still had like a big CD player, a big DVD player, a big receiver, like 2 big speakers, then like a little conversion box, all of these cables, RCA cables, like all hooked in. It was a disaster in there. And I was like, Mom, hold on. And I just had my Xbox with me, my Xbox 360, and I just like pulled everything apart, put the Xbox 360 in there, and plugged everything into the Xbox 360, and just was like, this plays DVDs and shit, and CDs, and has a flash drive, and you can play video games on it and stream your shit, just like you used to, right?
Yep.
And they were like, this is amazing. I was like, yeah. And she was like, what video games do you have? I was like, I got this game called Skyrim. She was so stoked, but she never made it out of the camp.
He's just talking to everybody.
I'm like trying. I'm like, Mom, but this, Mom, that. And she's just like swinging the camera around, looking every direction, looking straight down, spinning. Like, bro, like 3 hours. She's like, these games are hard. She's like, okay. Well, I'm done now. I was like, damn. So, like, you get to coach the shit out of her.
That's what I mean. Is like, you know, we like to joke on the boomers a lot, but they had to learn computers and everything else that we kind of had to learn too. It's just that most of the time they choose not to. Like they just don't care. They don't want to. So I mean, like,
Can't say I don't
yeah,
blame
you
him.
got her to play Skyrim, but like she doesn't give a fuck about Skyrim.
No, she
Now,
can't.
if her
Oh,
baby
well,
boy was in prison and she's like,
Wait a minute.
I have to learn and beat this game before Kenny can get out of jail, then like I feel like she definitely
you're right.
would.
She's actually, baby, what level's
Cool.
my mom on in Candy Crush? Like 11,000 or some shit? Higher. It's like 20,000.
Mhm.
Higher, she says. So if she cares about it and it's a game, she can do it. So you know what? I think I would just have put faith in my mom. I think she can do it to get me out. Yeah. What about you guys?
Oh no, it's not happening.
Yeah, I'm taking the 3 years.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do 3 years. Yup. That one's pretty easy.
Bro, I'm gonna put my faith in her. I get out in like 2039.
Yeah, maybe you should just do 3 years too.
Supermax?
Well, let's not get crazy.
It's just like just prison.
You know, not like the
You know,
federal
it's
one.
not you're not at the county jail.
I'm not in
It's not
county.
a country club. It's prison.
It's not a country.
Is it relative to where I live?
Yeah. I saw somebody in the chat be like, "Can it be a Norway prison?" And I'm like, "Not unless you live in Norway."
Nah.
Well, I live in Colorado, so
That's
hello,
like a million
Florida
prisons there.
Supermax.
Yeah, all of them. Canyon City.
All of them. It's like okay, doke.
Yeah. All right, good one, brother. Rob,
Yeah,
you're almost 50.
you can't prove that.
I can't. I almost forgot already. It's weird. But
I tell you every year.
let's do the news. Or do we have another way of asking back? Is there a hobby desk update? You just talked about something.
Yeah, so it's the end of an era. I'm getting
Oh.
rid of I've had a battle table in my basement since we moved in. Like the only time I've had it taken down was when we finished the basement, but it's been there like for 25 years now. and I'm finally taking it down because I haven't played a game on it in like 5 years. And it's been a little longer than that if you count, like, because I just set up dioramas and elaborate dioramas of battles and stuff, and then and not always 40K. Sometimes it's Napoleonic, sometimes ACW, you know, just different stuff. And I have to finally take it down because I bought a crazy Enterprise replica that was way bigger than I thought, and I have nowhere to display it. So I'm gonna swap the battle table for some display stands, like Rob has behind him, and then one of those is going to host the gigantic Enterprise. So, but yeah, the table's going. So I won't be able to play in my basement no more. Not that I have been. So it's like, but it is a little bittersweet. It's like, oh well, time passes.
Yeah, I have so many fond memories of that table. We
Yeah.
spent some time down there.
Yeah, you even helped me go get the plywood for it. Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Did I use my truck?
you did. Yeah.
Like my white one?
I don't remember the color.
Damn. My old S10. Yeah, I think yeah. We went down.
Yeah.
We went to like the Home Depot.
Yep.
Damn, dude. Forgot about that.
Yeah, that was a long time.
Core memory activated, bro. That's wild.
That was a long time. And that was the replacement top because the original top I'd put blue foam on so that I could carve like rivers and terrain details and then I realized, down years later that probably wasn't the smartest way of doing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then you were stuck with it. You're like, well,
I need a new top.
yeah. That was
Facts.
back in the days when I wasn't even playing 40K then. Like I had played 40K, but I didn't know it was 40K. And then I was really into the Lord of the Rings strategy battle game, like super into that. That was like 2001. Yeah.
That was
end of third edition because I was like, I remember going into a GW to get like a proper Games Workshop store instead of a game store and walking in to get some Lord of the Rings stuff and then seeing Demon Hunters and going, oh my God, like who are these guys? And then the salesman was like, oh, that's the Ordo Malleus. And as soon as he said that, I was like, sold, done. Bet. Give me all of them.
bro.
And then when he said Grey Knights, I was like, wait a minute. I played Grey Knights in Space Hulk. Wait a minute. Yeah.
Bro, it's like 1,000 years ago.
It was. Yeah.
Like straight up. Well, I'm glad to see the Enterprise getting a prominent placement and that legendary Beats Lab. So
it'll be cool.
I'm sure it'll look good.
yes, sir. All right, Rob, hit it.
Oh man, so much to talk about. New additions here, y'all. Woo.
Woo.
Yeah, I think G-Dub actually, I mean, sure, every app rollout, there's always some, hey, this isn't right or this isn't right. They got an email address set up, hit them up if you see something wonky, and they've done a couple patches, but all that aside, that's just normal rollout stuff. I feel like, for the most part, from what I've seen, boots on the ground, yeah, everybody's pretty happy. Maybe not the like top end, like high end, like GW influencer kind of level, like folks that coach and things like that. I mean, I've seen a lot of like scores, and they're very. It seems like the scores. It's not like 100 to like 30 anymore. It's like 72, 75 and stuff, and maybe not. Will spread out over time, but for the most part, it seems like people that wanted the new edition could get the new edition, and everybody overall is generally happy with the kind of the way that things are going, and it isn't like immediate shit's broken, which hasn't been the case in quite some time on a rollout from Games Workshop. So that's definitely worth talking about. I feel like in a good way, because we haven't seen that in quite some time. Plus, we know there's a lot more stuff coming out. They announced, today was the first day of the global campaign, the Deathfire thing for Armageddon, and you can get it on that. And there's like an exclusive scenario or location you can play at the Games Workshop stores that isn't scored online. You have to go to a store and they score it for you. Um, so if that's your thing, that's basically the next 3 weeks, and then after that, they will have a preview on the 24th, which is a Friday at about 2 p.m. Eastern, where they roll out all the other shit that's coming out, and whoever wins the campaign will get a new detachment. Let's be real, they've already got the shit right. It doesn't matter. But it's really fun to think that, it's going to be like narrative and, oh, this side, the orcs won, so the orcs get it, and like all that. It will be really cool to see all this stuff coming out in October if they hold to their patterns, because generally the Wave 2 stuff comes out in October and everything's kind of rolling out the exact same way 10th edition did, the edition before that, so I would expect to see a lot more stuff in between. There's definitely going to be 40K releases, and we're still waiting on the rest of the starter sets, because there's going to be like the Russian nesting doll of like this starter set and this starter set and this little starter set here has just these sprues. We've seen that in the past, and apparently there's going to be combat patrol versions of all this stuff as well, that has already leaked. But I think the big question mark for everybody is terrain, because they actually said in the preview video today that there would be new terrain sets, plural, getting previewed. So that's curious. So I don't know whether it's going to be themes or not. And they also haven't put for sale the new terrain sets that they previewed already, a while back in their cheeky little orc knob biker teaser. And so I'm really curious to see how that goes and what the price point on that stuff is. So yeah, coming out new, we got this week. It's Cephas Kane, 4 battle forces, 1 battle group, some Black Library books, so quite a bit actually. All pretty good values. The Chaos Battle Force is a little questionable because it's basically the Christmas one with like a different unit in it. Necrons we haven't seen a good bundle for in a while. Same with Tyranids. So I feel like those are going to be the more popular of the two. But if you're for everybody that's just starting out 11th edition or just swinging back on by, saw a lot of that this weekend. It's there's some midnight release events and 40K actual day one tournament that I stopped by, and I talked to a lot of folks. A lot of people checking it out that didn't traditionally play the 40K side of things. So that was interesting to see. So I understand where GW's coming from with these battle forces. They might not be for you or me, but they're definitely for some folks out there, I think. And that's always good to see. Also coming out this week is the new Hippogriff model and the Centaur APV releases separate. Those originally came out in the Armageddon Battalion back in May. So, it was only like a month or so later. Oh, no, I guess those come out on July 11th. So it's like 2 months later. Never mind.
What's a hippogriff?
What is a hippogriff? What isn't a hippogriff anymore? Would you believe that a hippogriff is a tiny Imperial Guard tankette?
Yeah, I guess.
With
I mean,
6 wheels.
I thought those were called cyclopses or something.
No, those are super tiny. Those are like this big. The hippogriff is like this big. Ish. It's like that big.
No idea.
Yeah.
Sounds like a hippopotamus and a griffin.
It is smaller than a chimera, but has
I'm talking about like
I think
what's the lore?
Like
what is a
hippo thing from a different Greek connotation? It's like in Age of Sigmar, a hippogriff is like basically a griffin, but they're like you could ride them.
Yeah.
No, this is more like a.
I don't know. I'm waiting for Haspel to be like, well, actually, it comes from Greek, meaning I'm like, I don't fucking know. Oh, fuck.
Like I understand like others. I'm like, what the? Is hippo irrelevant? Is it just literally a griffin?
Yeah, there's no like you're like the HIPPO is a different connotation. It's not like a hippopotamus.
I mean, technically so there was a Griffin tank with a mortar on it.
But by Imperial Guard, their naming convention is
just like these, it's like mythical shits. So and there actually is or was a Centaur. Now it's Legends, but so they have the Centaur APB now, I believe. So whatever. But yes, you
Oh,
can
we
get
got
them.
someone in chat, Jeffrey White. It's a legendary creature with the front half of an eagle and the hind half of a horse.
Yeah.
There's no hippopotamus in there whatsoever.
I'm wondering where the
disappointed.
hippo part.
Hippo,
it has to be
hippo
the
means
Latin.
horse, I thought.
Oh,
Oh.
is that
Oh yeah,
what it
obviously
is?
that's
Yeah.
makes
Is
sense.
that because a hippopotamus means water horse?
Water horse.
Okay, that's all right. I knew that it was back in there somewhere.
I'm all of it.
I'm perplexed with what's the difference between a griffin and a hippogriff.
A griffin has the back half of a lion.
Oh, there you go.
They
See?
got really detailed with these fake made up things back in the day, didn't
They
they?
probably had a round table about how to name these models, and it went just like what happened just now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Except for they probably used AI. And we didn't. Or did we? We don't know.
I mean,
Uh,
you're not real, so yeah.
I am not. I'm not. So those models are coming out. The bigger one, the Centaur, is 69, I believe, and the smaller one is 65. Everything's $60 from Games Workshop, y'all. Just get used to it. There's nothing we can do about it. Yep. So preview. Kenny had a promo. They wanted to talk about his painting lessons at Bolters and Dawn next month.
July 18th, Bolters of Dawn crew in Cincinnati. This will be my third year going up there. These guys also do the we've talked about them in the podcast. They have like one of the coolest gaming clubs that you can go to if you're anywhere near the Cincinnati area. Worth, like, if I was within 2 hours drive of that club, it'd be my club. You know what I mean? Like, it's that cool. And I've been remote paint judging for them since like COVID. And so I've gone out twice now. It's a fucking fantastic club. They've got fobs, like the old gym model, everything. A bunch of really solid guys. They rent their upstairs space of a brewery that they have a really good relationship with. And so it's a match made in heaven for a gamer's paradise. So the classes are up
Heck yeah.
on their blog. Bolters of Dawn. Ticket sales, I think it's like $135 a ticket. It's our 201 course. You get so much swag for showing up. It's ridiculous. We have Game Envy, Monument Hobbies. I got my man Duff actually providing. So he made.
Nice.
I didn't even know about. He worked with Chad to design these like paint class, like plinths basically, or like paint, like, I don't know. It's like a plaque, and it has like a cape on it, gems, jewels, lenses, a sword, like all these cool things. Like, it's so handy, and it's like 3D printed, like so you can practice all your glazing techniques and effects on this. And I was like, Duff, you're a goddamn genius, dude. I didn't even know.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, it's proprietary for his, because he just came back from Origins. It's like, this is like his thing, right? So he came in and he works with Game Envy now as like the community guy. And so when I talked to him about getting some Game Envy shit, he was like, yo, you might want to see these. So, like, I mean, the shit you get just for showing up at Bolters of Dawn for that price tag for that day is almost equal to the price tag. So there's 6 tickets left. So check it out. July 18th. That's my promo.
Promo off. Nice. And that's pretty much the news. Besides new edition. It's a new edition, y'all.
New edition, new hype. Wyatt,
I'm stoked.
as
What's
our resource matter expert, walk us through it.
The entire new edition?
The whole thing.
Go.
It summarized.
I didn't prepare for this.
Summarized into precisely 7 bullet points.
But, well, so I think the first few of these bullet points Rob mentioned are kind of within his bailiwick, because he's talking about like retail and sales and all that kind of stuff. But as far as like initial stuff with the edition, it's fine. Feels fine. A lot of it is literally just copy paste from the previous edition. There's obviously some slight changes which cause larger ripple effects, like no stratagem stacking, stratagem limitations on units per turn, or per phase per turn. The changes to Overwatch, the changes to
what's the limit on a unit?
once per unit per phase, which is really frustrating because like it wasn't necessarily stratagem stacking, air quotes, where you would play like two stratagems or three stratagems within the same instance of something
It's
happening. It
throughout the
would be
turn,
like,
the
I
phase.
have my Blood Angels unit, I'm going to use my stratagem uh, during the charge phase, which lets them have advanced and now eligible to charge. And then if you fail the charge, ICP reroll it.
You,
Okay, that was like normal
yeah,
intention. Now,
can't do that.
because of when certain stratagems happen, it can kind of fuck you. So like a small change, large ripple effect.
Yeah.
Um, the fight phase is probably the biggest change of the edition. I ultimately think it's for the better. It brings back a lot of strategy to the fight phase, which was lacking in the previous edition. I think it's really cool. Um, the heroic intervention stratagem being kind of like old heroic, if you spend 2 CP, is really cool because that's going to allow you to do some of the things you could do in 9th edition, where you could be like, you forgot about these guys over here. It's the end of your charge phase. I'm going to spend 2 CP and they're going to heroic and charge you and
Like they
fight
could just roll
before
the
you.
chargers, and is it within 6 inches?
Yeah. Like, well, yes, it's still within 6, but you can still just like roll the charge and heroic and then fight first.
Bro, that was
Um,
savage back in the day.
yeah,
You had to check those
heroic is
angles.
tight.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, like it's one of those things where people are just gonna have to get used to the small changes that kind of alter the order of operations of certain things. Um, but I'd say for the most part, it feels all right, but just kind of samey. I think we're not going to really see what 11th edition is supposed to be until we start getting codex releases. Um, One thing we were talking about within the team the other day was like, even with some of these factions that have a ton of detachment choice, you're kind of still doing the same shit because during this development cycle, they didn't go back and like rework these detachments. Some of them were like some of the Grotmus ones were reworked to be the one cost detachments, but there's like I don't know, like Fellhammer Siege Host or like um like First Company or like different stuff like that, where it's like there's such dog shit that nobody's ever played them and nobody ever will. And I think my one actual gripe with this edition is I would have liked to see the devs put forth the time to go in and revamp all those attachments. Um, because like if you're playing Grey Knights, like you're still basically taking Warbane or Brotherhood Strike, like, and that's it. None of the other ones are already good. In a lot of instances, even with stuff like Space Marines, um, so much air quotes choice, but for a lot of people, they're basically just still playing Gladius because like that's the only one that's good, or the only one that suits the way they want to play the game. There are some, like if you want to do like Firestorm and I think it's called Fulgurius, the land speeder one.
You're just making
Um,
up words.
yeah, I mean, I don't know why they just call it land speeder strike or something. um like, so there is play there where you can take some of the two cost and like throw one of those on there. But like if you're playing Ultramarines or an Ultramarines derivative force, you're still playing Gladius or Blades of Ultramar because it's just the best one and in the best Space Marine army. Um if you're playing like Blood Angels or Black Templars or Space Wolves, like your detachments that weren't very good before, still pretty shitty. Like their cost changing doesn't really do a whole lot for you. So you're still like, it's like an illusion of choice, if that makes sense.
Hmm?
Um,
No, it does. This like we talk like this is less of a change than eighth to ninth.
yeah, and I mean, like, I
This
don't
is a
want to.
true like just update, like mid step.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like I remember the like the public statements of them being like, oh, like they started working on 11th edition like 2 years ago and that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, I don't think they were, because there's not enough new stuff.
Well,
There's not enough different concepts and like updated things to me to warrant like them working on this for 2 years. And it's like if you're gonna copy paste 90% of the core rules and then like do some changes, then like that's fine. But like I said, I would have liked to have seen like if you're not gonna index it, then I would have liked to see these attachments be totally reworked because it's just kind of like you're in like a limbo state still.
Yeah. It's if they don't, now that we are getting used to index 40K, like we've said in the show before, when we went from second to third, that was our first index reset, right? We went to the
Mhm.
big black book, and it had all the rules in it, and army rules. That didn't happen again until eighth, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
so now they're doing like a 8.5, a 10.5, and so it's like every other one, right, Rob? Like now a 12th will be the index reset, 10th was the index reset. So I mean, there are some big changes. Don't get it twisted. It's just that they're not like new concepts. That like obviously the close combat stuff is huge, and it might have big changes to the exact same game we play. So I think the really exciting things that are going to come out of 11th are going to be in those moments, right? Like you just mentioned, the simple thing like the stratagem stacking per phase
Mhm.
will change
Mhm.
the game. 2-inch combat zones and being able to move within a certain range. Like all these are going to have
Well, I
mobility
mean,
changes.
so the change to engagement range is like it's a kind of a big deal, but as far as like the order of operations goes in the fight phase, it's not like crazy
And it's not a new
different of a
concept. It's the
concept.
same
It's
concept,
just like
just different measurements.
because people have been asking this, like, okay, well, how do charges work with 2 inch engagement? It's like you still have to basically roll base to base, air quotes, but you don't have to end base to base unless you want to. So, like, if my unit is 6.4 inches away from
I
your
have to roll a
unit,
7.
I have to roll a 7 on the dice.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. The same thing with like a little bit of a weird thing is if you deep strike, you can deep strike 8, but you still have to roll a 9 coming out of ingress move. So like it's a little weird. It's more so like the way that you can move in, pile in, consolidate, the way that you can just roll a charge and then pick targets, like that is bringing a lot more strategy into the fight phase, which is a really cool gold star good thing. Um it's just most of the game feels really samey. Like I think we're gonna see um some novel like, oh, this is new, this is different, this is interesting because we are playing with uh the disposition cards where you're having to do your disposition matchups, which is going to change the mission. And then like, oh well, if I'm
I have a
playing
big question about dispositions.
yeah.
So if I have my disposition, you have your disposition,
Mhm.
and then we matrix it, that determines our layout and everything like that.
Yep.
So am I pulling from my disposition deck? Is that how that works?
So I got them right here. So every disposition has 5 cards. And those 5 cards determine your primary scoring for the game. So let's just say that
Oh, because there's like 5 turns.
yeah. So let's no. So let's just say that you're playing Chaos on Purge the Foe, right? I have
Okay.
the Purge the Foe card right here. And I am playing my Custodes on um, priority assets. Okay. So this card says if you're playing Purge and I'm playing priority, it tells you what card to draw, right? So in this instance, I am playing Vital Link. So I go to primary asset deck and I find the card that says Vital Link. Okay. And then we go to the Purge deck and you get Destroyer's Wrath. Okay. So the way that I score primary is the Vital Link card. The way that you score primary is the Destroyer's Wrath card. And it has nothing to do with turns. It's just like
I
that's
see.
the mission we're playing for the game.
That's our primary. So back in previous editions, most of our primary was just based on holding objectives.
Yeah, and so some stuff feels really samey. Like the dispositions are kind of a cool thing, but then when you look into it, it's not that deep. Like a lot of
Mm.
stuff is literally just like kill one, hold one. Cool. And you do like an action for like a few extra points. Um most of the stuff is going to end up being a lot like that. Purge is a little bit more killy. Priority assets is sort of like hold hold more, or it'll be like hold one, kill one, do an action, sort of like middle of the road. Take and hold
So
is
okay,
kind of
so if I'm like
self-explanatory.
priority assets and you're something, and it tells me what card I have to pull, it's one of the 5 priority asset cards,
Yeah.
and they're all kind of in that world, but it's going to be skewed toward what your skew is in the attempts, so that we can play a good game.
Yeah, the attempt is like a balancing act between so that it's like if we both rock up to the table, uh, the dispositions are going to be like balanced against each other. Um,
Hypothetically,
hypothetically, hypothetically. What we're seeing right now is this is sort of like an alpha state. So even dispositions like disruption, which is been pretty unanimous as labeled the like hardest one to do, i.e. the worst one, because like the harder something is to do, the less desirable it is in competitive play. Um, People are just building lists where it's like, get fucked, I tabled you in 3 turns, and then I score all my disruption in 4 and 5,
A
and I
lot of
still get
people are doing
100.
secondaries last.
Yeah, and so like another big change to the way that we play the game, it doesn't really have anything to do with the rules, is that now you just hold onto your secondaries like a hand of cards. Whereas before you could only ever have two, and if you couldn't score one or you didn't want to score one, you'd have to discard and then draw another one. Whereas now you start with two, and then you draw two every turn, and when you score them, you get rid of them. Or you can choose to not score them and hold on to them. Or if you can't score them, you hold on to them. And so like you could technically have like 15 fucking cards at one time or like more and whatever.
and then just table the
Um
guy and just be like, "No, I score all my cards the rest of the."
yeah, you're just like rah. Or you could just have like a go turn where you're like, I just scored like 45
That
points.
is that's I would say that's a big change, and
Yeah,
I can't tell
that's a
you.
problem.
No, it's not a problem. That's awesome.
It is a problem. And I'll tell you why it's a problem. It's exactly the same type of like nuts and bolts issue as challenge cards, where you would have these challenge cards where it's like, I'm just going to take this challenge card, I'm going to pay extremely passive, and then in the last turn, I'm going to go like bit, bat, bop, and do this thing that you have no counterplay to, and I'm going to score like 25 points and win. So like it's kind of the same thing, and like what we're seeing as we're getting all of these games because they're churning like hundreds and hundreds of games since the launch, thousands and thousands of games probably. Um, is that a lot of the like primary stuff is going to be pretty passive because so much of it is very simple. So much of it is like I can just like sit on my expansion and like score primary every turn. I don't really have to interact with you to score primary. And then you're seeing these like huge like backbreaker turns in like turn 3 or turns 4 and 5 where it's like I'm just going to score a zillion points and you have no counterplay because I'm scoring them based on like my movement phase and like existing or doing an action. Maybe I kill one unit and I score like 65 points and like I
Some
outscore you by 30.
someone in the chat was asking, are we still limited to scoring 15 points a turn?
There is certain limits on that, but it's like 15 per, right? So I'm being like a little hyperbolic. I realize that. Um, so I guess the most that you could score in one turn is 30 points because you could score 15 secondary and 15 primary.
Oh, okay.
Good clarification. I honestly I like it because I hated that I would like discard a card because I had to make a decision like maybe I could score this in late game, like for sure this is a good card later in the game, but I draw on turn 2, so I'm kind of left with no choice, which is must throw a card away, get new card, right? Because I could never hold more than 2. So personally, with my limited abilities, I like the idea of being able to like look at a play and make a play, right? But if you're telling me like all the ballers are saying this is a problem, I trust that. You know what I mean? I trust that if a group of 30 guys who play, tournaments every weekend are saying this is problematic, I trust that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it just needs adjustment. I don't think it's a problem I mean, like it's like a bug. It's not a feature. And we just
Fair.
need to get that bug fixed. Um, And so like the thing is that like we are the playtesters now. Is like GW, they have like their dev team, and they'll be like, does this work? And they're kind of like, yeah, it works. Like they'll run through it a few times and like, yeah, of course. But then they unleash it to us that are like the 1.5 million orangutans with typewriters, and eventually we make Shakespeare. Like eventually we figure it out and like they balance the game. But like we're the beta testers, and so right now we're playing this new disposition system with the new primary matching and the new secondary card system. And so like we're finding all of the pitfalls that need to get worked out. And eventually Games Workshop will. It's just frustrating that like we have to exist in this way for however many months until they're like allowed to update a PDF by corporate or like whatever the fuck their stupid system is.
They
It's
don't
not
even know sometimes, bro.
sounds accurate. So let me ask you this. So you said that primary is going to be somewhat passive in your guys' experiences so far compared to the righteousness that can be secondary. I kind of felt that, like I kind of vibed that from what how you were explaining the matrix to me and our dispositions. I felt like that wasn't nearly as significant of a change as it was made out to be. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I'd say so. There's some things like if you play a slow infantry based army, I guess like an okay example would be Black Templars. Technically, yes, they can take rhinos and impulsors, but the power of Black Templars is like the large blobs of Marines that throw out a gazillion attacks. So they want to like march at you and they want to like do all the Black Templar things. Um, those types of armies, like their detachment power is tied to purge, and the slower armies that are melee centric are not doing very well on purge. Like it's not going great. Purge is really strong if you have really good ways of cutting angles with guns, or you have speed. It's fantastic. But like so you're gonna see a lot of like Tau. Like Tau was really dominant before. They kind of made out like bandits with the MFM and the disposition stuff. So they're going to be super dominant again because they can be really fast. Their guns are fucking heinous, and their points are really good. And so like they're going to be doing purge like all day, every day. Um, and kind of the running joke is that like yeah, you have five um, cards for primary, but really you're going to go to an event and you're going to play like purge 4 times in a row and then maybe like recon in round 5. Like so you're going to play the same mission technically like 4 times in a row. You might be playing different armies, but a lot
But
of
even that's
armies
not
are
that
taking
different,
purge.
right? Because like that's not even that different than how it's been, right? Like that's like
I'd
most
say
of the
that's pretty
missions we
different because like
most of
if
the
you go
missions
to
we
a tournament
played
you're
kind of felt the same on primary almost every game, just with slightly different bonus objectives and slightly different.
yeah, but I mean, like that's primary in 40K. I mean, like
Yeah,
technically you're playing 6 different missions at a tournament,
right.
whereas now you might play fewer because of the
But
way the
the
cards
layout,
work
but
out.
you saying the even the layout won't change, even like the table won't change.
Like I that whole system I need to dive deeper into. I've literally played like 2 games of 11th because like you have your cards, right? I have them in my hands right here. Um, they don't really mention the layouts on any of these cards. You know, we have deployments,
Yeah, you got to have the event compendium.
yeah, which is the
Word,
little booklet,
word.
which I
Hmm.
do have. Where to go?
It's
Right,
all it's
It's only
all
8
it's all
pages.
very confusing to me right now. So that's why I'm
chapter
asking so many
approved.
It's
questions.
not really different than the last edition, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's what I'm. That's what I'm finding out in this conversation. Is I'm like, this is all just like a bunch of cool explanations that get us to a similar place, which I like. I like overlay, right? I like UI, right? You know, like
Hmm.
cool. You know, I like when that's built in. And I'm not shitting on it, like, but it doesn't seem to be nearly as different as it was advertised.
It's not really.
I think it's the balance and the cleanup. I mean, there are a lot of things that make more sense from, kind of like a top level standpoint, like, oh, a lot of it's ported over from Age of Sigmar, to be honest with you. Like, just simple stuff like rolling the
Well,
dice, and whatever you roll, you can just go that way. Or like the cleanup to consolidation, or the
Mhm,
Overwatch
mhm.
thing, or the not stacking, stratagems. Like, and one thing that I haven't been able to find in the rule book that I actually asked some other folks, I was like, have you seen this? Like, nobody's seen it. The stacking modifiers Like it
Well,
it's it says
if
it's only neg 1, like, you can't go more than, like, negs to hit, but, like, I can't find it anywhere. So,
I think it's in there.
I haven't seen it.
It's the main thing that we're going to see a lot of is because cover modifies your ballistic skill and
Mhm.
not the hit roll. You're going to see a lot of different things. So like some people like they have rules that's like we ignore like everything. Like psychic ignores everything. Some stuff is like I ignore modifiers to my weapon skill, ballistic skill, because what that is supposed to do is ignore like big guns never tire or like shooting into combat, that kind of thing. But they don't ignore mods to hit roll. So they still need a source of ignore cover somewhere. So technically speaking, you could be -2
Yeah.
because one is modifying your ballistic skill and one is modifying your dice
Yeah,
roll.
one's a
So you're
characteristic change, one's a
yeah,
modifier.
yeah.
I agree, but it's not in print anywhere,
Doesn't need to
like,
be.
specific. Well,
Let it roll.
disagree.
I miss the days when shit was like hit me on 6s, bitch.
Mm.
That was
And I
the,
haven't seen nobody playing with aircrafts, which
that was the good old
was a
days.
I know.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad because like they kind of did the same thing they've been doing with aircraft, which is like instead of figuring out a way to make aircraft like fun and interactive for everybody, they just like dissuade you from doing it by making them shittier. And it's like,
I
Continuously
thought the
make
whole
them shittier.
change
They're like that. They're like that
guys,
guy who's like
guys.
who wants to break up with his girlfriend, but he won't, so he just keeps doing shitty things until she breaks up with him.
Yeah, and
that's
so
a look.
it's the last time we hadn't seen the MFM yet, so we were talking about this concept of like the unit tax, where they're like,
Yeah,
okay, well, some of the
which is
units in the
real.
game, we've deemed them to be a little spicy. So if you want to take 2 or 3, we're going to tax you points. And it's like, guys, your job is to balance the game. Like, so if a unit is too strong, adjust the unit. Don't punish your player base for taking the good unit. Like, this is preposterous. It's kind of the same thing. It's like they're seeing the same data that we're seeing, but they're drawing like the complete wrong conclusion from it.
Who's the game? Who's the director of that? Like, because that's a very obvious, like producer,
Well,
like
that is a
producer
very
call.
nebulous. It's a very nebulous question because like we have a lot of conflicting
Yeah,
information coming out of HQ of like, well, it's supposed to be this guy, but it's actually not that guy. He actually doesn't have editorial power over anything. So actually, it's this other guy. But it's like, then you talk to that other guy, and he's like, that's not my job. I do this other thing. And so it's like, by the amalgamated accounts of what we've gotten, because obviously they're not being transparent about any of this, which again is super weird for a dev studio. Um, what we can see is that like the devs are still very compartmentalized. They kind of just like do stuff and then it gets submitted and then like they kind of make sure that nothing is like too crazy or like busted or whatever. And then it just fucking goes out. And we have guys that are supposed to be like the heads of these departments, but they're more like cat wranglers where they're like, hey guys, we just need you to like submit this stuff on time and I need you to work on this right
Those are
now and
called project managers.
shit like that. Yeah, they're
Yep.
basically project managers. They're not editors in chief. Right. And so like
Yep.
at a normal thing, if I was a writer and Kenny was the editor or like the lead game design or something, he would be like, Wyatt, I need you to write this up. I need you to do this. And like this is what I want and I need it by Friday. I'm like, got it. And I do my job and I submit it and it goes to him and he's like, actually, this part right here, this doesn't work. Go back and fix that.
right.
And
Because
then I go back and I fix it.
someone has to have a vision, and that's what I've always talked about. You can see the vision in many big releases. Like remember back in like when Ninth dropped, it was like the vision was big shit's back. Remember, like the design and aesthetic of the game was heavily incentivizing the sci-fi IP, and that was so clear in its vision. And everyone had big ass. I mean, it was like you go to a tournament, there was diversity, and it was like all these Caladius tanks, all these Eldar flyers when they slapped, all these big knights, all these Drukhari raiders, right? Like, I mean, it was like, yo, sick vision. So now I'm detecting this like, hey, I don't like. There's almost like a guy in there who hates competitive play, and is like his
Well, it's
vision.
not so much that too.
Well,
It's also
it's
weird 'cause we
anti-spam,
have
an anti-spam protection.
that is very bitch made for sure.
That's bitch made.
Um,
That's anti-competitive, right? Like it's
But
like
honestly, that could still just be like the like opinion of of one of the
Yeah.
like Robin Credis is like one of the he's like a kind of a head honcho of like the dev side. I forget his actual
Apparently,
title.
he's an actual like mathematic doctor.
But he's also like a really good competitive player in the UK scene. To the point where it's kind of a running joke that like, hey, Robin, you play a lot of Necrons, and Necrons are consistently like really good and unnerfed when they should be. And you know, it's like you can't really prove anything, but you know, kind of looks that way. But anyways,
He's
like,
also had a lot of experience too. Like he's been in the scene
yeah,
for
and
a
it's
long
just like
time.
it could just be like his opinion, which is just as valid as mine or yours as a competitive player that like spam is bad for the game.
Yep.
And that might
And
be like I have heard that from other people. Like our like you know, Captain America, Alex Spatho, he thinks spam is bad for the game. He doesn't like whole spam. He doesn't think that we should have like armies of all tanks and stuff. Um or to be more fair to him, he thinks that those armies should be really bad at scoring primary and good at other things, not good at everything. Um, but yeah, it's like if that's the way that he wants to see the game,
I
and he's the
respect
guy who
I
has the
respect
key to
vision,
them, then
and
sure.
as long as you stick to a vision and you pick a lane, that's leadership. And typically, even if the leadership choice is something I don't agree with, if there's a actual strong vision, it usually works out. So I detect that from these rules. Like I detect
Yeah.
that someone's in there putting their overlay on it, and that's fine. Like, you gotta let the director try. Like
Yeah,
let's
I
see.
mean, and we're welcome to disagree with it. You know,
Mhm.
like if their thing is that like even if something is balanced, we don't want you to take more than 3 vehicles without paying a tax. And I'm like, okay, if that's your prerogative, then like I just have to abide by that because it's not my game. You know, I just play it.
Mm-hmm.
Mateo posted in the chat to you, Rob, where the modifiers section of the rulebook is.
Oh, okay. Let's take a look.
It also reminds me of like it's a difference in mindset too, because it's like I remember talking to Phil Kelly in Vegas like eons ago, and we were like the Eldar. There was an Eldar wave serpent or something that was like super broken,
Mm-hmm.
and he was just like, "Oh yeah,
Oh,
you
that
could
was Phil
take this."
Kelly.
Yeah, and then we were like, me and Tim Baptist were like, "Well, we'd take 3," and then he literally looked at us and was like, "Why would you do that?" And it was like,
Oh, I
because
I said the
it will,
wrong name.
it will smash
Yeah,
people.
he was literally perplexed by the concept. I remember this story so well.
Yeah,
But like, that's madness.
yeah, he
That's
was like,
madness. No one would take 3 Falcons.
it was Falcons. That you're right. It wasn't wave
Remember
serpent,
when
it
we
was
tried
Falcons.
explaining to him too that like the math on
Yeah,
like it was
takes
like
like
1 in
50.
81.
It's like 112 Space Marines with las cannons
Yeah,
to
yeah.
to statistically
It
drop
was
it.
it was ludicrous.
It's madness.
And they're like, "Oh."
What was
But I
what
mean,
was
to
your
be fair,
correction?
that was
Why?
like
I said the wrong name of the guy.
oh,
You know how I am with names. I'm terrible with names.
You didn't mean Robin Credis?
No, I don't think so. I think it's is it Eddie? What is his last?
I think he's
the-
in charge of Warhammer community, Eddie Eccles,
no, it's not
or
him.
does
Fuck.
a lot with that.
I don't know.
I mean,
Like
James Workshop.
Robin is a big dick bandit in the rules
Yeah.
department.
I mean, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I mean,
We were
he
talking
is-
about we were talking about this guy the other day, and I don't know. I just figured I was like using the wrong name, like brain fart.
That's a lot of names. You're forgiven.
Names.
Here's madness. That was the way you used to tell the story, Mike.
It
was,
was,
Madness.
dude, it was
that was one of my favorite stories. Remember, I was like,
That
playing.
was so cool, but it was also like I remember talking to Phil that trip, and he was like talking about how he was in the bathroom like trying to take a leak, and people are like approaching him about rules and stuff. I'm like, it's rough. It's real.
yeah. I'm not sure I'd like that.
No, no, I don't think I would like that at all.
No, thank you.
That was a long time ago, man.
Yep.
Wow.
2007
Yep. Isn't that
or
the-
6.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
the old days, brother. That's when they rolled out with kill points. You came in last place with your
Yes,
Dark Eldar.
that was at the Grand Tournament in Chicago.
Is that what that was? Yeah,
I was rocking Dark Eldar
Yeah.
Witch Cult, and they came
47
out
kill
with
points.
kill points. I was like, oh, I auto lose.
Yeah.
Done.
Hey, you're like, well, this is a problem. Never win again. Got it.
Yep.
All right. Well, that was a tight episode. I really appreciate you being patient with me, Wyatt. Mike Casper, do you have a sick quote to take us out on?
We ain't found shit. And the reason I say that is because today is Tim Russ's birthday, and I had to have a little
Which
moment
one?
to lie down.
How
And,
many?
yeah, he's 70 years old. So
Wow.
process that.
That's
Tim
abs-
Russ played Tuvok, and very famously was the Spaceball stormtrooper that said, "We ain't found shit."
Bro, I love Tuvok.
When they were combing the desert.
Yeah.
To be
Literally.
fair, that was the 80s.
Damn. Love Tuvok.
So if he's not in the new Spaceballs, I'm like, opportunity missed.
You fucked up.
I feel like they got to.
Isn't Rick Moranis coming every time for that?
Yes, he is.
Like they finally got him to go back to acting?
He didn't even come back for Ghostbusters.
No,
man,
he was
but
like, I'm
came
rich,
back-
dog. I don't give a shit about none of this.
He came back for
Really shows
Spaceballs.
you what he cares about. That's tight.
Yeah, super tight.
That's tight. Well, Wyatt, take us out of here.
Rob.
Oh, this is my part. Well,
Yep. Just like every,
I'm a-
every episode.
We're professionals. Remember that.
I'm not a robot. It's real. I am not AI. So that's it for this one, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure to head on over to thelongwar.net for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today.